Captain Starlog, March 14th, 2174. We've received a distress signal from the planetary government of Fosstarian II, a Class M world boasting a major population of humanoids. The automated message, recorded by a planetary regent named Tresta Zemeline, asked for urgent help in responding to a virulent plague sweeping the planet. The Fosstarians are known to be a technologically advanced race, though they follow a strict policy of isolationism, making this plea for off-world help highly irregular. We've set course and intend to render aid if possible.
So this would be time to kind of assess what you want to do before you get to the plan.
Okay.
Take action about whatever you want to do before we get there.
Okay, so
I want med bay in full lockdown procedure. I want quarantine stations ready to go.
Okay.
Let's have the captain host a little board meeting.
Yeah.
Meeting of the mind.
Oh my god.
All get on board with the same protocol.
Every single time.
So, as you know, crew, we are on the way to figure out a situation that this planet is apparently very plagued by a disease. So our doctor will take point. So let us know, doctor, what you need us to do.
I will assess the situation on the planet side first before we bring anybody on board to cross-contaminate. And anybody leaving the ship needs to be in a full medical sealed containment suit.
Do we have any? Go ahead.
Science and probably the captain, but that's just my recommendation.
Okay, that's fine by me. Do we have any information on this planet and these humanoids?
You can search the library computer.
Let's do it.
What's the requirement?
Yeah.
So it would be science, control, and then computers, I think engineering for the computer.
What's the difficulty?
0.
0? Okay.
There's no classified information.
Yeah.
So I got 1. Did somebody want to roll for the computer?
Sure.
6 plus 3, so 9.
1 dice?
Yep.
Okay. 13.
So we got 1 success. So we got one
momentum. So in the library in the computer library, there is a 99-year-old log.
Oh boy.
2075 from a Vulcan survey vessel.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it written in Vulcan?
It's translated because everybody understands Vulcan.
Ship's log, Vulcan survey vessel, Temir. We approached the Fosstarian star system as part of our survey mission of this sector. However, before we could enter the system and commence in-depth scans, we received an audio-only subspace radio transmission from an individual identifying himself as the planetary leader of Fosstarian II. The Fosstarian leader struck a rather threatening tone before demanding that we keep our distance and respect his civilization's wish to remain isolated. We were allowed only a brief conversation before the regent cut the transmission. Rather than risk a botched first contact, we decided to comply with the Fosstarians' demand and rerouted our course to avoid the area. Judging by the Fosstarians' ability to detect our approach and their use of subspace radio, it seems logical to conclude they possess some form of advanced technology. We had time to conduct only a cursory sensor sweep, which confirmed the Fosstarian transmission originated from the system's second planet, a ringed Minshara-class world. Perhaps, in time, we will be able to learn more of this hermit civilization. End recording and file with the Vulcan Science Directorate.
So we have no information on the people themselves, so it's not like House can do any kind of preliminary research on diseases and their anatomy and all that, which is what I was looking for. I feel like I'm going to make the decision to just send in return a acknowledged on our way.
Okay.
Just in case.
We have received your message.
Yeah.
We will contact you when we're closer. If you receive this, please just wait.
Yeah. basically.
May I suggest that when we get in scanner range, I can do a bioscan.
Yeah,
We could get an idea of maybe not their biology, because I don't know how clear the scan would be. But at the very least, we could get idea of population size,
True.
density.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Love
also,
it.
because it's a spreading disease, the higher the population, the more likely it is those people will be sick. Whereas people on the outskirts are less likely to be sick.
Yeah. And we can assume that they've already initiated quarantine on their own, right? Surely.
We don't know.
I mean, if they're smart enough to send out a signal, you know what I mean?
It
Probably they're smart enough.
depends on how the disease spreads. Because if it's just purely airborne, you breathe air,
Right.
you're gonna get it.
And we don't know how they live, if they live in huts or if they
Right.
live like in we don't even
If
know
literally
what they
every
are.
single,
That
if they all
People
live
flying
in
in.
one city, then most likely they're all sick.
I'm wondering, Captain, with the past hostilities towards outsiders, if maybe this person isn't necessarily authorized to be asking for
Yeah,
help,
that's
but
a good point.
It's true.
recognizes the need for it.
We need to proceed with caution, and if they tell us that they don't want our help, we have to also be willing to back off.
True.
Because some species seclude themselves because they're xenophobic.
True.
And so that feeling may not have gone away, but they may be so desperate that
Yeah.
they're willing to overlook that.
Well, I think as always, like our hat said, we proceed with caution. You never know what crazy situations we can find ourselves in, but the mission is always to seek to help people. So we do that. We do so with caution.
Captain, let me just verify where I stand in this situation.
Please.
Because of my do no harm clause, if there's one person on that planet that's asking for help, then it's my duty to help.
I would agree with that.
We may just, isolate the germs and make suggestions of
Yeah.
possible solutions if they don't want us to go any further.
Okay. Feel like we're at a good spot.
Yeah.
We can proceed, I think.
Okay.
Unless anyone has anything else.
So as you close in on Fosstarian II, you enter the system, and this
Wow.
is what you see.
He's so prepared tonight.
So it becomes clear to anybody looking at the view screen here that the planet's ring is not a natural feature.
Oh.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Rather, the ring appears artificially constructed.
Huh.
Question is it a machine or is it space junk that they've tossed up there?
Is it somebody else altering the planet somehow?
Oh, that's true. Could be someone else's space junk.
Yeah.
Garbage into the atmosphere.
Yeah. Is it like a shield
It could
of some sort?
be one of the main factors of why they're sick as well.
That's true too. Am I close enough to do scans?
You are close enough to do scans.
I shall do scans.
So
Let's-
it's a reason science, difficulty 1, and somebody can roll for the ship, which is sensor science.
Okay, so I need a 14.
10.
Application.
Oh, or no.
Wow.
And first roll.
I think what I'm going to do is just keep my threat. I'll just keep threat. I won't make it.
Okay, you're gonna
Right in the beginning, I don't need to complicate anything this early.
Sorry, else?
Like immediately into the system,
Greening
be like, right, exactly. Like I think it's a little too early to
We're here to help
throw
all.
hot sauce on.
Your ship explodes and
everything.
you're all dead.
So your sensor scan reveals massive sheets of duranium compose the outside of the ring, while the inner surface features rows of photonic crystals that bombard the planet's surface with continuous low-level waves of gamma radiation.
Oh, well, that's why they're
no.
sick.
Yep.
So it's not like an airborne thing. It's yeah.
Could be radiation poisoning, and
Maybe
that is a
they eat
specialty of
gamma.
yours.
I would like to send what I just found to the doctor's computer so he can.
Okay?
Am I close enough to do a bioscan of the planet?
Not of the planet.
Okay. Can I do a bioscan of the structure to see if anyone's living on it?
You can spend a point of momentum to improve the quality of
Okay.
your scan.
I should do that.
And that reveals the interior of the ring contains numerous compartments and life signs.
Oh,
Really?
so there is somebody living on the structure.
Or the possibility of someone living on the structure with all the radiation.
Maybe they're all living on it because
So-
the planet has been rendered uninhabitable.
That's true too.
Did the Vulcans not see the ring when they were here?
No, they didn't comment on it at least.
So it might be a new thing in the last 100 years.
Who knows if they actually did a scan on the ring? Does the composition of the ring protect from radiation?
No.
Question: how close can we get before the gamma radiation starts affecting the ship?
You would have to get like pretty much, you'd have to enter orbit of the planet.
Okay, that's just what I make sure.
Okay,
Let's move in.
let's
So that
move
we
in.
can contact. Make contact.
So as you move in, you get hailed. I didn't go through and like individualize because that's hard to do.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to give you like a generalization
Okay.
of what these people look like. And then you can use your imagination to fill in the,
Each individual one.
yeah, like just make variants of that look in your mind.
Oh. Interesting. Humanoid, sunken eyes, whiskers.
Are those antennas?
The other question is the sunken eyes from just something genetic or is it from the radiation poisoning?
Yeah, it's hard to know because they look sickly, but is that just how they look, or is that because they have radiation damage?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to just ask that outright.
Right. Are you so ugly because of radiation?
Yeah.
Is that just how you look?
So on
Fast,
stream, unless you want to roll to get momentum,
Yes, please.
control engineering and communications engineer.
That was 16, baby.
Does Michael want to roll for ship?
Sure, I'll roll for ship.
I believe that's 2 successes.
Very nice.
Let's see, comms is 6, engineering is 3.
5.
Okay,
All right,
yeah,
so we
good.
got 3 momentum.
Okay, so on the screen is Regent Trusses Emmeline, and she says, Captain, I see that I got your message, and I am very grateful for your concern, and I invite you to my palace in the capital city here for a full briefing on the pandemic that we're facing.
Hello, this is Captain Knightley of the USS Drake. We're happy to have responded to your call for help. We're concerned about docking, as we can see that there's a very large amount of gamma radiation plaguing your planet.
Yes, I understand. That is part of our way of coping with the pandemic.
So this was instituted after the pandemic began.
Correct.
We were under the assumption that perhaps this is what was causing the pandemic, but you're saying it's not the case.
No, it helps it not spread. But the issue is that it is now spreading. After us using it for such a long time, it's starting to spread.
And how long has you been using this?
Oh, for a number of decades.
Our last contact with you was over 99 years ago. Do you remember speaking with Vulcans?
I don't. That probably is my predecessor.
All right. Well, we will do some more research up here, and we'll speak with our doctor, and the decision will be up to him as to how he would like to proceed about coming to the planet.
I can understand that. I wish to assure you and your staff that the virus has not spread to the continent on which the capital is located. And I also hear your concern about also the high levels of the surface radiation. So we can offer you anti-radiation inoculations upon your arrival.
Well, thank you for that information. I will get right back to you after I speak with our doctor.
Understood.
Captain, shall I begin bioscans and give the doctor the live feed of all the information that I have?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. So it's whatever the same. It's the same like science reason.
Science reason? Okay. Since this is a similar field, right?
Are you scanning the people or are you? What are you scanning?
First, I'm scanning densillation pop, so I'm not like in depth.
Individuals? Okay.
I'm just doing like, where generally are the people?
Okay.
Then I'm gonna do a second scan of like trying to get like a person and get as much information I can on them.
Okay. Yeah. So when you do the second scan of that, that would be the same field.
So this
The
first
field
scan
is a new, because you're doing
is new.
bio.
Okay.
scanning.
So I shall. What's the difficulty?
1.
One. I'm gonna use a momentum to make sure because I want to buy an extra dice. And so I'm doing bioscan. So that's a focus.
Okay.
And I'm doing a 14. Okay. And who's helping me with the computer?
Computer. The 10, that seems good.
Sensors, 7, science, 310.
Yes. So
Nice work.
I got 2, 4, 5.
Very
So
nice.
I filled up and I have 2 extra.
Good work.
So I'd like to use those 2 extra to amplify my scans to get more information.
Okay. So the first thing that you see when you scan the planet is it does support plant and animal life.
Okay.
So those things are on the planet. It's not a barren wasteland. You
Mhm.
can tell that they're warp capable. And there are sections that have ranges that have been laid to waste.
Oh,
That vast section on vast sections of the planet.
like full, like
Yeah.
this hemisphere is gone.
Yeah.
Kind of vast.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there are also massively domed structures on the continents where you can see crops and food animals are being raised and processed.
Okay.
And you can see that there are essentially government-esque buildings that are where the capital, and you can see that there's like, buildings are basically a civilization, like a giant city is in one of these domed
Is that the most dense
structure.
The
Where
largest-
people are,
Yeah.
people are only inside the dome structure.
Okay. So
And
there's nobody outside.
there's no animal life or humanoid life outside of these dome structures.
Do the domes protect against the radiation and
Yes,
Sort
and
of.
no.
But
It's
sort
not
of?
killing them. They have to have anti-radiation, right? She indicated that come down here, you would need this,
Yes.
but you
But
can
they're
tell
also
it's
using
not.
it to help them, so they have to be affected by it to some
So that
degree.
was like your general, that was your burning of that to give you like what was inside of the dome.
Okay.
Because otherwise you would have just seen the continents and the destruction. And so you wanted like an extra harder reading, right?
Yeah.
And that was what got you through the dome structure.
So do we
understand?
Yes. I'm going to use my studious because I
Okay.
use momentum to. So I'm going to ask a bonus question.
Sure.
The scourging of the planet, does that look like they did it themselves, or was it like a natural disaster?
It seems to be in tandem with the radiation bombardment.
Oh, so the radiation probably burned the
So
planet.
the radiation
Oh.
probably scourged everything because the gamma radiation is nasty
Pretty
stuff
intense.
that will destroy everything.
Do we have a population number from this scan?
Just a few million. No,
Okay.
not that.
So I would inform the captain of what I found: the domes, the scourging of the planet,
Yes.
and the 12 million. You said?
Yeah.
Approximately 12 million
Still
sprinkled through the domes.
a lot,
Yes.
still, actually.
Too much for
Especially
our
after
ship.
decades of pandemic.
Yeah.
I would like to now pinpoint like a random selection of the population and do a deep scan on them to get like, bio readings, what type of,
What type of
respiratory.
What type of humanoid we're
Yes.
dealing with?
So now you're scanning the people?
Yes, but I'm doing a random selection from different domes.
Sure.
So therefore I get like a nice cross section.
All right. So you want to roll again?
Yep.
Okay.
And
also tell
you said it's a similar field, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use testing a theory and theory in practice.
Yeah.
So I get a bonus dice for free, and I get -1 difficulty, minimum 0. So is this a difficulty 0?
Was
it
was going to be a difficulty 2.
So it'd be a difficulty 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the same reasoning science?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just
14.
computer.
So I have 10.
4. The 4.
So we got, that's another one.
Doesn't even matter what the numbers are.
I got 1 there. Yeah, I have 2, 4, 5, 6. And we are at max momentum right now, so
Okay,
we're just gonna dump the extra momentum in getting lots of answers from their biology and stuff. And I want to directly feed it to the doctor.
okay. So every single Fosstarian that you scan
Mhm.
is either has on them or in their system anti-radiation medication.
Okay.
And they're wearing protective clothing that is clear to help with radiation.
Mhm.
And they have radiation masks on that have different fashion accessories on them as a radiation filter. That's what the masks are for.
But they gotta be cute, so.
So they have like
They've adapted their society to
For
This-
radiation.
It's Hunger Games capital vibe.
I see.
Yeah.
and as you saw, they primarily resemble humans.
Mhm.
And you can tell that from scanning them that they are able to grow some hair, and some of the hair that they do actually grow, they shave.
Mm.
Do I have their internal organs and things like that?
Yes, you can see that not every single one that you scanned is infected with some sort of virus, which you don't, obviously you'd have to have but you can tell that there are some people who are sick.
Okay.
Can we learn from those scans, like what the symptoms are, like what?
No,
My question is are any of the symptoms visual? Like you can physically see red blotches or something on them to indicate that they're sick?
Boils and sores?
Because that would show up in a regular scan if it's like giant boil or
But also if the
blotchiness.
organs sustain damage, that would show up since you have the organs.
there, how he's able to tell is that there's skin discoloration.
Okay.
Okay,
So what about, you said we have information on the internal organ structure of these people. So can we tell any kind of like tumors or,
no,
okay. So they just have skin discoloration, that's all we can tell,
that's what he can see from the show.
which might be the way they look, we don't know.
Do they have similar organs to humans?
Generally.
Okay.
I
Okay,
have to ask to see what the symptoms of this.
yeah,
Can I confirm that, because they said the capital was undiseased?
Yeah.
Can
yeah,
I,
no,
can
that
I
freaks
tell
me
that?
out.
Can you tell?
Okay, so like,
If you chose people to scan from the Capitol,
yeah, I chose some from each. I didn't specifically go. So can I do another scan to check the capital to confirm what they said that nobody's sick in it?
sure, just spend a momentum and all that.
Okay.
So.
So what I would like,
Nobody in the Capitol dome is infected.
what I want to know, how in the world are they keeping it out of the Capitol?
Also, I semi failed to say, not people wise, that there are magnetic lifts inside inside orbital tethers that connect the ring to the governmental corporate facilities on the planet. So there are like giant lift systems that
Giant
go to the
elevators that go from the planet to the rings.
But
How they
specifically,
get from dome to dome.
but specifically from the governmental like facilities.
When you talk to them, though,
Yeah.
I would bring up how they feel about outsiders.
Yeah.
Before you send anyone down, be like,
Yeah.
are we gonna get stabbed?
Right. Okay, so what does the doctor think from all of that information that he has listened to intensely?
I believe that there's something in the ring that is keeping them safe, but it's only the higher ups that have access to it. But for whatever reason, radiation itself is keeping it at bay. But I think now, whatever the sickness is it's immune to the radiation.
Well, yeah, it has been decades of Yeah, of this radiation, things are bound to mutate.
So what do you suggest,
So the-
Doctor, about going meeting them on their planet?
Yeah, so because I have I have some prior engagements here. I recommend that if anybody goes to the planet, that you be fully suited, take advantage of anti-radiation, take your rat away. Your rat away for sure will help.
Right away up.
And
I would suggest we do anti-radiation ourselves to make sure
yeah,
that we're getting anti-radiation. Don't take anything.
yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'm not crazy.
I would administer it here for sure. Have a meeting with them, do your scans, and yeah, see what's going on.
All right, we'll report back to you.
You bring me samples. I want samples.
Okay. I agree with our hat. I want us inoculated here. I'm not taking none of their crap.
So it's a reason medicine difficulty 1 to give yourself inoculations to stave off radiation.
Okay.
That-
I have.
If we need them.
So I would have the nurse do it.
So
Can
first,
you also
let's
have the-
figure out who's going before we start inoculating everybody.
Right.
You and me, I feel like. Like, what are you thinking?
It would be good to have someone with medical knowledge with us to
Right.
draw the proper samples.
You like
Yeah,
When I hear scans.
I know. So Nurse Mescal, right? Is
Yeah.
that okay? So they should come.
So another benefit that I will start to institute for the second edition is now people get to play as secondary characters. Because the game understands, the creators understand that you may make an away team and that excludes people, so they can play secondary characters and go on an away mission. And just to help you, if you're trying to like include everybody and feel
Okay,
like you're
I
excluded,
like that.
you don't have to.
I like that. I'm trying to think
Should we make second?
I would just make somebody the nurse. I won't play the nurse.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's send our hat in the scale. And
Okay.
and
So who
and
wants-
Sova and I will wait.
Who wants to play the nurse? Who's a male character? Doesn't.
You're a boy.
You're a boy.
Because I would volunteer, but are you gonna send me down?
We're probably gonna go down after.
So that's what I would say, John, since he's the only one not.
John wouldn't need to go down for anything for this. It's
No.
a medical
Yeah.
thing. He's
Yeah.
Yeah. Is an EV suit at least semi-protectant?
Yes.
Okay.
It won't protect you from the radiation,
That's what I was thinking about.
but it will protect, it has air filters.
Right.
I know it has, I know it has the air filters. I will be safe in general from diseases.
Right.
Yeah.
My thinking is the radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, will not,
All right.
It doesn't have any protection for radiation?
not really.
Really?
Do we have,
I mean, it does, but you're getting, I mean, the planet is being being.
the problem is that it's gamma.
True.
If it was alpha or beta,
Like-
it would be much easier to deal with, but gamma radiation travels through practically everything.
Like run-of-the-mill solar radiation that's out in space,
Mhm.
obviously is okay,
Yeah.
but this thing is getting pounded with radiation.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So let's have Mescal inoculate himself and the commander.
so you have a
So I'm
13.
thinking, shouldn't he inoculate everybody at the same time?
It wouldn't be a bad thing to,
Difficulty 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got one
Everybody.
success.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
At least those who would be
do
going
not,
down.
you gotta do it twice.
I thought it was me.
So you have it.
Oh, I'm doing it too.
All right. And then, yeah. So our commander next.
I got a 13, don't worry.
All
Yep, one success. You're good. We're good.
right.
Totally
Do
fine.
Silva next.
Oh, we're all
And then
go.
me. We're just
Whoa,
we're
whoa.
having you do it so that we don't kill ourselves.
Oh,
we have 11.
We're going down first. This will be fine. I have some bad news for you.
I'm not getting inoculated.
Well, I poked you. I feel like I didn't find the right spot though.
Okay.
So
So what happened?
we'll say that his Vulcan biochemistry is like kind of isn't like inoculating him.
It's
All right.
good.
Body is like
Okay,
fighting.
sorry. Yeah, this is my first time.
Inoculating a Vulcan.
So
Yeah.
try the captain then.
All right, yeah, we'll get the captain to go. Yeah, we're good. That's 2 successes.
Oh, baby.
So you'll have to try at a later time to inoculate yourself.
Can I inoculate myself now, or do I have to wait?
You can do that.
I
yourself.
can't give him another, I can't.
No.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna
You
buy
have
it.
attempted that.
The thing I used was bad.
Yeah, it's on your belt.
I got one success.
Okay.
Nice work.
Took me 3 dice to get the one success, but I did it.
So Moscow and Arhat are going.
Yes.
What are
Yep.
you doing?
Tova and I are gonna stay up here, wait to hear from them. I'm gonna call the lady.
Okay.
Should you guys get dropped off and then they come back and get us? Or,
Yeah, probably.
and do we have to inoculate the pilot then?
Go for it.
Would you like to roll for
Yeah,
the pilot?
so they don't die on the way back.
Oh. What physiology is the pilot?
Rydian.
Oh boy.
Said that too fast.
Because it's Milak.
Someone's right.
Alex still around? Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
One success.
Very
No,
nice.
2 successes.
Oh,
Sorry.
nice.
Nice.
So we're back to Max.
Okay. All right.
So,
I would like to speak to her now, please.
okay.
Thank you.
Hello, Captain.
Hello there. We have decided that we're going to be sending down our medical officer and our commander. If that's all right with you. We've heard in the past that you're not that fond of visitors, so I just want to make sure we have the real clearance before I send down my crew members.
Well, of course, we have a deep suspicion of off-worlders
Okay.
and the general virus on the planet, the Outlander virus. We do feel it came from off-worlders, but we don't want massive casualties like we had 2 centuries ago. So we're pinning our hope on the show.
Okay. Well, I will be sending my commander and my medical officer down to negotiate and have some discussions.
Understood. We will welcome here on the planet.
All right. Over and out.
So this first contact will either go great and they'll like us better, or it'll
Yeah.
go terrible and they will be more suspicious of
Yeah.
outsiders.
So we're gonna take the shuttle.
Okay,
Are we docking at the ring or are we docking literally on the planet?
that's up to you.
That was,
Well, where-
then they said on the capital, right? To the capital. The thing is, if we dock at the ring, the elevators go straight down to the capital.
Probably that makes more sense.
Must also be a shorter trip for the pilot.
Probably can't dock at the domes.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right. Call her back up.
So sorry, where do we park?
Yeah, we have some flying tiny teams. That's exactly where to park.
I'm having parking issues again.
What are you telling her though? Like, how are you getting?
I'm sending out my shuttle. Where does one dock?
You could come right to the capital. We have a landing port.
Okay.
The dome.
Over and out
Nice.
again.
I will take a chance to be who I'm meant to be. I won't let fear keep me from trying. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up.
right, Andrew, loses momentum.
Lose a momentum.
New
Oh,
scene.
new scene.
Okay, so you travel to the planet's capital. This is what you see as you exit the shuttle on the landing. It's a big cityscape condensed inside this dome. And you can see that pretty much if you just kind of follow straight ahead from the thing, it's kind of almost like landing at like a hospital, like helipad. There's
Okay.
not really like an incredible distance to go into the building.
Cool.
And right as you are progressing to the doors open. And here is Planetary Regent Tresta Zameline. And she welcomes you into an expansive hall under a clear dome. And when you through the dome, you can see the massive artificial ring overhead. You can see it in the sky. And you can see all these orbital tethers from the underside of the ring connecting to the surface somewhere nearby. Can't really quite see where they'll go drop down, but you can see them. Her face, Zameline's face, is behind a radiation visor decorated with intricate gold design. And she says, "Thank you so much. We appreciate your help." And here to my right is my advisor, ImmuCorp CEO, Vastra Thalason. She says 2 of the continents on the planet are experiencing an outbreak of a plague that resembles the Outlander virus. Though they thought they eradicated it centuries ago by the ring, it appears that if history is repeating itself, the virus will spread to every continent on the planet and wipe out millions.
Okay.
So she indicates that she would like help in finding a cure for the virus, and that her scientists have failed to slow the spread, and that she would like you to work with the ImmuCorp researchers and pool resources.
Okay.
She explains that several Fosstarians have been sent to ImmuCorp's most advanced medical laboratory housed inside the ring, where they're protected by quarantine fields
Oh,
and where their researchers are studying the virus.
interesting.
She suggests that's where you begin your work, like the medical research part of it.
Before we proceed, how is the virus transmitted?
The virus is transmitted through the air and infects most of everybody through respiration.
Okay, so it is an airborne.
So as you're kind of asked that question and you're talking, you see that Thalason, the CEO, is kind of like bristling at you guys being here.
Are you giving us the clear to come down?
The first thing I would do is I would look around and see like how secure the area is. Does anybody look like, besides bristling and not like us there, is anybody giving off this like I'm going to attack you kind of vibe?
Well, let's have you roll.
Constantly watching minus is 1, right?
Yeah, so you can roll a command insight difficulty 0.
Okay, well,
So we just need 1 momentum.
I got a 10 and a 4 in the. It was command, right?
Yeah.
My command is 4, so
You have a focus in like sizing people up.
let me
Kinda?
see. Nothing that really no focuses that stand out that I can really
Okay,
use.
that's
So-
okay though.
Bank 1 and use the other one on getting more intel on how dangerous it is.
So what you notice in the room that like nobody in the area seems like they're trying to hurt you or attack you or anything of that nature. It seems fairly drab in like a very political sense. Like it's a very corporate building. But Salation, no pun intended, is radiating hostility. And she is doing very little to hide
I'm still not going to address it.
it.
I'm going to let her stew as she has to escort me around.
Kill her with kindness.
Because the moment it comes to a head, I'm gonna tell her, I don't care what you have to say.
There you go.
I'm here to help. I'm here under orders to help you. Regardless if I like you or you like me, it's not gonna make a bit of difference.
So I should be stationed in the ring to help out with medical things.
So to help you in the ring, they have infected people that,
Okay.
that they're doing research on.
Okay.
So that's where she's suggesting to go there because that's where the medical research is happening.
Yeah, so we can just go to the medical areas.
Right.
And I would probably ask the person who's really angry at me, would you like to show us where the medical area is?
No.
Is that what they say?
Yep,
For real?
yep.
Wow.
Are you going to show us anyway?
I think that off-worlders are responsible for this virus in the first place. So asking for your help just invites further catastrophe.
How long ago did this virus initially come to the planet?
Over 200 years ago.
Far beyond my age. So I have nothing to do with it. I'm just here to help.
And you see her sort of pace. So as she paces, let's have you roll another command insight. Difficulty 0 again. Yeah.
I got 2. I got a 12, which just made my 12, and a 6.
So as she turns back and you hear her start to consent with working with you and inviting science and medical personnel to the research facility inside the ring, you kind of feel like there's something else there. That's not just her being angry. There's something. You don't know what it is, but you can tell that she's sort of hiding something.
I honestly kind of have this feeling that they utilized the sickness in order to control all the people. So we have to be cautious on how we proceed.
Okay, so she is willing to take whoever wants to go to the ring, but you kind of get the feeling Arhat, Mescal kind of understands, but you get the feeling Arhat, like you are now going to go into like a research medical area. So not saying don't, I'm just saying,
Right.
you get the feeling that like you're going to start to enter an area where you may have less knowledge.
Yes. I because I'm a field medic, I have general idea of how to deal with stuff, but I understand that this is out of my expertise and I will be in an area that I am not in full control.
Okay, so what are you guys going to just get in the thing and go to the ring? Is that what's going to happen?
Or are you gonna wait for us to come down?
I would contact the captain and let her know that we have permission to go see the quarantine people in the ring. And ask her if she wants to come with us or are we proceeding?
I'd like to go. I'd like to go and chat it up with these people.
So
Me like come and pick us up.
is me like coming back and getting
Come back and get you,
Yeah, and bring it back, bring us down.
and then bring you back down to the planet? Or
Yeah,
go
to the ring where they are.
You want to go to the ring and they're going
Yeah.
to come up the lifts?
That could work. If there's a docking port on the ring, it'd be quicker.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
So you guys beat them to the ring. You get onto the ring, and the Salacin, CEO Salacin, grants you access to the research facility inside. She says, listen, she goes, I understand what you said, and I get it, but you're not going to be out of my sight because I still firmly believe this came off world. And I understand that you didn't do it 200 years ago, but there's nothing saying that it's not from here.
I completely understand what you're saying. You have a bias against off-worlders. I completely respect that. And nothing I say will change your mind, so we're going to work with what we got.
All right, Captain.
Okay. Captain Starlog supplemental. We've made contact with Regent Tresta Zamaline, the planetary leader of Fosstarian II. She's asked for our help in finding a cure to a viral plague that threatens the planet's entire population. To do so, we'll need to work with researchers at Immunocore, a private company that constructed the artificial ring that bombards the planet with radiation. The ring was built centuries ago to eradicate the Outlander virus, but it appears the remedy is no longer effective.
So
Alright.
you're in like a corridor from where the lift thing. She leads you to the airlock as she's been told that more members are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And she meets at the airlock and out walks Sova and the captain, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we leaving, what's his face on the shuttle?
Elec is staying on the shuttle.
Okay.
Minimal amount of people on
Yeah.
the ring,
Okay.
considering the hostility.
Okay.
So Thalathan leads you all to a large laboratory that's filled with like advanced scientific instruments and computers and equipment. And there's an enormous window that takes up the entire wall of the lab, which grants like this big sweeping view of the planet below. There are sets of armed security guards that watch at all laboratory entrances. And a handful of technicians work at several of the computer consoles. Inside one part of the thing, there are 3 Fosstarians clad in hospital gowns that are sitting on cots behind a shimmering force field.
Quarantine zone.
And she says, these are the infected Fosstarians that we are conducting studies on to take care of the problem.
So they're the researchers and doctors are here.
Yep.
So I'd like to go meet one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I'll walk right up to them. I'd introduce myself and say that, we're here to help. We need all the information you can give us.
Okay.
We'd like to have our own samples to run on our computers.
So
Tell us all you got.
okay. So
Give us all
Dr.
you got.
Regim,
Okay.
and did you just want this doctor to tell you information? Is that what you were asking?
I'd like to just chat with him, get his side of the story. I want to see the information on that he has.
Let me answer her.
Well,
Your
we can
You want to
together
both do that?
talking. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would make sense.
So you learn that it ravaged the population for years until Immunocore appeared. This massive conglomerate discovered
Oh.
concentrated gamma radiation could halt its spread. And at first, they produced a small-scale localized radiation generators to fight the virus.
There's a part of me that thinks that it's going to be like, oh, you take 2 aspirins and you're cured. Just,
And so they proposed a radical solution, which was making the artificial ring that would surround and saturate the planet with radiation, providing a permanent cure. It took decades for them to complete it, and they consider it their single greatest work of engineering in their history books.
Okay. Got it.
And
Well, creating an entire ring around the planet is a major undertaking and took a lot of planning.
so they're very proud of it.
Mhm.
They tell you that inside of the ring there are photonic crystals that amplify the radiation and direct it at the planet. And then other parts of the ring house thousands of employees of Immunocore.
Using their influence.
Mhm.
So in order to not lay waste to everything on the planet, they built massive dome structures on continents where they build what you saw, which was like the crops and the animals and all this stuff.
Right.
And that you get the impression, as this individual is talking, that Immunocore controls both the ring and food production.
They control the domes, they control the ring, they control everything.
Why would they control food?
They control the food that's being made in their domes.
They got full trust from the government
Yeah,
because
that's
they found a cure.
Yeah,
That's awful sus.
again, they're controlling every single person on
Yeah.
their planet.
if we find a cure, do not give it to anyone in Immunocore.
So
This is TV.
So now you will roll command insight. One of you will roll command insight, but it is going to be difficulty 1 because you're not detecting danger. So either one can roll it.
13. Okay. What did you have?
I had 12.
All right. I guess I'll do it then. What am
So
I?
it is difficulty 1. What you just
2 dice, one success.
An 11 and an 18.
We got 1 success.
So you are putting together that the planetary government ostensibly creates public policy, but seldom without the consent of a Munich Club, specifically the CEO.
They were so desperate that they basically combined themselves with the company.
Yeah.
And the doctor finishes by saying that when they developed warp and launched a deep space exploratory expedition, it returned with knowledge of their surrounding space, but the crew unwittingly carried back a virus back home.
So it's not even. Okay. So they're the ones that left and caught something. It's not like,
So this,
people, you know, invaded.
The
So-
thing is, if they came in contact with another person, with another group, that other group could have given to them, or they could have gone to a planet and picked it up.
Okay, so I need to know who you.
so that's
were
where
in
their
contact with.
xenophobia comes from.
Right.
That's
Okay.
understood.
So I want to know right now who they came in contact with.
They know that they didn't meet with aliens. They just don't know where the virus came from.
So they got on their little ship
Yeah,
and they went out in space
they came back. They got onto planets and like looked at
and
stuff
did like
in their
research.
general systems.
And they like got off their ship and they like collected samples
Right.
and did little. They never came in contact with a human
Or
they're
anything.
kind of,
And no alien. They came in
Okay.
contact with them.
Have they been off world since?
No.
okay.
So it'd be
So
like
they're
going,
dumb.
to Mars, doing a bunch of stuff, coming back and bringing the Black Plague.
And then being like off-worlders, man, when you never even met a single off-worlder.
Yes.
Okay. The planets that they went to were not inhabited. So they're blaming. Okay, that's Okay.
Over the span of 2 centuries. They're easy
Yeah.
enough for the corporation to, it's propaganda,
Yeah.
build up it.
oh
So
yeah.
you figure it could
Control
be
the
6
thinking.
to 7 generations easily.
Where's the files of all that of that expedition?
Just in their it's like in their computers. Like in,
I want them.
the doctor understands that you would like to see
Yeah,
the
I'd like
original
to
origin
file-
of the virus.
The thing is that they would be heavily redacted because
Which is why I want them. I want us to scan them on our ship to see if we can like detect any deep fakes and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just straight up ask this man. I'm just gonna say like, so from what I understand, when this expedition occurred, you met no species, correct?
Correct.
And yet you blame a species for giving you this disease?
No, we believe that the disease came from not this world.
Okay, so
so anything off this world is bad.
They haven't left the planet since. They spread the
Okay.
fear,
so
fear mongering.
all right. Well, I'd like to take a look at the file of that expedition so
Sure.
that I can understand more for myself and see the
Maybe
files.
figure out what planet they got it from.
And yeah, and take a
Absolutely.
look at the planets and see if we have any information on those planets.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me, doctor, what are the symptoms of this disease?
So it presents with a high fever, skin discoloration, and intense pain.
And how long is
Roughly 24 hours after infection, they begin to
Exhibit symptoms.
exhibit symptoms, yes. And then they practically then begin to start dying.
and how long does it take from getting the disease to death?
It can be staved with radiation to a degree, but it's usually within days.
Thank you. So how do you and other members of the Capitol not get this disease?
Well, right now it just hasn't reached the continent where the capital is on. Nobody is sick on that continent, but they're not necessarily, that's why you're here. They have no way of stopping it. It just hasn't reached the continent.
There are cases where things can go dormant
Mm-hmm.
and stay viable.
Which is why I'm wondering I want to know more information about that continent because it's like what weather things like what made that like reactivate itself.
So you don't want the pad, you don't want the history thing first.
I thought that was taken care of already.
No.
Nope. They're
Alright.
supposed to get you the information.
I want that now, please.
Okay, so that's gonna take like a data transfer and then somebody on the ship is gonna have to look at it.
That or we hand a
know
little
a
phone
guy on
drive
the
to
ship.
Milek and have Milek fly it back.
Yeah. I'm gonna guy in the ship. so
Okay,
look it up.
so you get a data package to your console on the bridge.
Hmm.
And you see that it's like some sort of data file relating to what's happening on the planet. Obviously, we'll say that the captain has been keeping you sort of apprised of what's happened.
I'm listening to everything.
So let's have you do engineering insight.
We love that.
Because he's rolling for his
love that.
character.
Uh-huh.
Love a 15.
It's a difficulty 0 because he's just looking at it.
All right. So I got an 18 and a delta.
Del.
Oh, it's a
That-
1.
Oh,
So do you have a focus in like
Reading.
like planetary expeditions or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Okay, so they left their planet of Fosstarian II, and they went to what they would consider Fosstarian I.
okay. So one planet over.
Correct.
Okay.
And Fosstarian I is a frigid, lifeless Class K world, which is just like icy wasteland. Essentially.
That's how you store some nice diseases.
Yeah.
So basically, instead of like the moon being a giant rock, they landed on a giant ice planet and took samples.
Mhm.
And then came back to Fosstarian II.
Yep. That's a good
So
way
they
to get
didn't
things.
leave
Just
their
up some
system.
pandemic and came back, thought it out, and they're like, wow. Pandemic.
All right. So that like I want him to specifically look for like deep fake, like proof of them like faking the documentation or like tampering with evidence kind of thing.
So we'll make the engineering reason difficulty 1.
Maybe. I got one success.
So you needed.
So, as you would expect in like this century, reading like the Apollo missions on Earth, it's a very boring, like plain back and forth kind of mission. There's nothing like weird about
No like evidence tampering.
Captain, I nearly fell asleep reading
That
this.
one, huh?
it.
All right.
I do have 2 questions.
Okay.
About the virus.
Okay.
How does the virus basically replicate?
That they don't know.
That is something we're going to have to determine. The second question, is there a specific area that is affected on every single person who gets infected? I understand there's blotches on the skin, but is there like a specific spot that always, it's just random?
Which is random. So I would assume Sova and Mescal are
Just hanging out.
looking over through like the quarantine areas and like looking at the individuals
Okay.
or looking out the window at the planet. Like you guys are like busying yourself while they're conversating.
Observing. I'd like to now ask this doctor about like patient 0 for the new outbreak and the continent. Like, have they found any kind of common denominator?
No.
One more.
Like they've examined their diet. They're not eating anything weird. They're not drinking from weird water sources. What's the temperature like on the continent?
So he indicates that the people in here, they have an elderly man, a middle-aged woman, and a young boy.
So it doesn't age discriminate.
No.
What about their genetics? Like, do they have a gene mutation?
They haven't noticed anything.
I have one very simple but obvious question for us. Do they have an electron microscope to physically see the virus?
Yes.
Okay. So they can at least see what type of virus it is.
Correct.
At this point, I would tell them at least look at what the virus is and see if it corresponds to any viruses that we know of. And if so, what works on this one might have a chance of working on this one.
I could run it through the database of diseases that we have on the ship.
So I'll ask the doctor, do I have your permission to take a sample of the virus onto my ship so our researchers can look into it?
If you'd like, then maybe consider it dangerous to put on your ship.
Maybe the composition of the have Mascal have them do the thing with Mojo Science Officer, and we send that composition to the ship to run it again.
We can send the data
Okay.
because the less that goes over to the ship, honestly, the better.
I know. I just don't know that I trust their data.
Which is why,
Collect
which
my
is
own
why
data.
we collect our own data,
Right.
send it to the ship, and have our ship.
Okay. That's the option I want. I want to collect their own data. I don't trust
If
theirs.
they know the general shape, that will also tell us how it infects people. Because there are viruses with basically a needle that injects, and there are others that attach. And the general shape tells you what kind of virus you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Did you inform Silva of what's happening?
Yeah, what we do is we walk over and say, they have very little information on what the actual virus is. It's basically a lethal virus no matter who you are or this planet. We need to figure out how the people are infected, and we need to figure out its lifespan and what affects it.
And run it against our database to see if we can find a virus that's similar.
Did they say how they first contracted it?
It's airborne. So we're just doing our own scans and stuff and sending it back to the ship.
And did they say where they first came from?
They said it came from another planet, and we need to look up records of that the planet came from. They gave us the records, so we can at least see if there's any information that we have on it.
I'd almost like to go to that planet ourselves too. Collect some samples.
That would be an interesting, because if the virus mutated, would it be helpful to get the original virus from the planet and compare it to see how it changed?
True. All right, let's do scans of the virus and patients and.
Yeah, we first need to get the information here before we can compare it to anything.
You got it. So who is it?
Hi, Nurse Pascal would like to assist you in your scan of the disease.
So you're going over to the quarantine area, Andrew?
Apparently,
And I will stand around and watch.
constantly watching.
Okay. So behind the quarantine field
Mhm.
are these 3 infected Fosstarians.
Mm-hmm.
They were transferred from the planet's surface,
Mm-hmm.
and that they originate from different regions of the planet.
Okay.
So they give them a broad spectrum of variables to study.
Okay.
So you can run scans,
Mm-hmm.
but it requires, but anything to do like a physical interaction with them.
Yeah.
They use hollow technology
Mm-hmm.
that projects an image of a doctor into the quarantine area.
Okay. But
And
'cause
this
I-
projection
really?
carries out the pre-programmed tasks that you are having it with.
Some hard light, if you will.
So the hologram is able to collect like blood samples
Correct.
and then bring it back out and decontaminate.
It's basically like that type of thing where it's like you put it here, it seals, and then you can take it from the other side.
because I was wondering, can I actually scan, or is the hologram scanning?
The hologram will be scanning.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I want to do my own scans. No bueno.
Better than nothing.
Yep. All right. So I would like to do scans.
Okay.
On all of them.
That is a reason science.
Okay, 14.
Let's do 2.
Is it a similar field?
No, because now you're looking at like microbiology.
Okay. I'm going to use a momentum to buy an extra dice.
Yeah. Your thing is a 12.
I got 1 success.
Oh.
We only got 1 success.
So, because you are inwardly frustrated that you have to use this technology, Sova, you are not able to acquire a thorough examination.
Yeah, his emotions get to him.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Vulcans do not have emotions.
So you see him scanning using this holographic doctor, but you can all generally estimate that. You can tell for a Vulcan he is annoyed that he is not inside there scanning.
So since I failed with the people, I would like to try to scan the virus itself, the samples they have.
You want to look at what they already have?
Yeah, the virus that they already have in a petri dish. I want to look at that. But
Okay.
I'm not getting anywhere with the people, so I figured maybe something I can physically,
So same exact things for both of you.
Okay. Want to buy
Yeah,
another
great.
one? What's that?
I did it.
You did it? Fantastic. Wow. I made up for it apparently. 2, 3, 4, 5, counting yours.
Nice.
So we get the 3 back and 2
You
successes.
scanned the absolute.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you basically can see that the samples that they've collected,
Mm-hmm.
that this virus, it takes over their cells
Mm-hmm.
and just starts to like burn them out.
Like destroy them?
It just starts to like destroy the body.
Oh wow.
So what you can see from their stats from each of them, every single one of them,
Mm-hmm.
they have high fevers, they're in excruciating pain, and they are lapsing in and out of consciousness.
Gotta be eaten alive. From the inside out.
So
Perhaps we can send that to the
it,
ship.
Yes.
it sounds like
Comparison.
an injection type.
Can I do I know the shape of it from my scans or
Yeah, you can see what it is.
okay. So do I see if it's an injection type or
It's a type that literally like envelops the cell and breaks it.
Oh,
So it's not even an injection, it's just like basically a white blood cell eating all the cells.
Correct.
And the fever is because the body's trying to fight it off, but they can't.
Correct.
yeah. And the body is literally being broken down.
Yeah.
This is like the worst virus I've ever heard of.
What are
Yes,
they
it has
doing?
gone on for a while.
Yeah.
What are they doing as far as comfort patient care? Are they giving them pain medicine?
They're trying
Are they...
to, but they're
Okay.
It's eating the cells that have the
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure they're not like just test tubing these people. Okay. All right, so send that information back to our doctor on the ship. Let's have our engineer see what he can learn.
Okay, what do you want him to do though?
I'm going to compare this virus to with the stuff we have in the database to see if there's any matches.
Okay, so you looked at what they've collected, and it requires a reason, medicine, or science difficulty 2.
Yeah, we're going science with that one. 9, 10, 12.
Not bad. We have a bunch of momentum if you want to buy.
Heck, let's get one in there.
Okay.
Oh. We got a 14, which is no bueno, and I believe that's 2 deltas.
Oh, baby.
Is that what this is, or is that a 20? That's a 20.
That's a 20?
Yeah, that's a 20.
You got 220?
Well, here's the thing. I think deltas are 1s, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I got a 1, and then I got a 20,
Okay.
and then I got just a nothing.
Okay.
So what's
So nothing happened?
because how
Or
many
is
did he
one
need to do?
success?
2.
You had 2 successes?
Correct.
So you succeeded, but you got a complication.
So when you're looking at it to compare it, it's like you ruined the sample.
Should we use a momentum to cancel that?
Yeah, let's go. We got plenty to spare.
So we're rewriting history.
Okay, so he's able to piece together a little bit.
Yep.
So then we'll have you, because you can pick another piece of the virus, and you can roll again.
No problem. No problems at all. Let's keep using momentum. Let's
Okay.
burn it. Send it if you got it. Come on. Oh my. So, okay, that's 2 successes.
Nice.
Lady. I thought you were gonna be like, all right.
Okay.
220.
I totally destroyed this. Butterfingers.
You learn from that scan, all you can tell, because you don't have a current sample, you have like an old sample because he wasn't able to collect something current, that it is highly contagious, fast acting, and potentially fatal for all mammalian humanoid species.
So even us?
Yes.
Oh. But does it match anything in the system?
You're not able to determine that because of the sample.
Old.
Ah.
Something old mess.
Alright,
You inform us of the old mess.
I do, I inform you.
Can I try again with the new mess?
You can.
I would like to use a determination because I'm going to use my value. Sometimes you have to start over.
Okay.
That's a really
Pretty good.
I want that.
So I'm getting a guaranteed 1, and then I'm going to roll 2. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm doing reason science like before.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is this considered a bioscan?
Yes.
Okay.
Helped you right
So-
out with my medical.
4, 6, 7. You got one?
Mm-hmm.
8.
Filled
Nice
it back
work.
up.
nice work, team.
I'm gonna need all of it if you send any more back.
So you take that sample.
I would like to
You-
send it to him.
You're sending it back to him.
Yes. So he can have a fresh sample to compare.
So
What?
fresh.
So
I'm not sending him because now that we know how terrible the virus is, it's not going on the ship.
Sending that fresh data.
So again, it's reason, science, difficulty 2.
Wow, reason and science different too, you say? Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh, for him?
For him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I was like, wait, I don't remember having to do this.
take,
same stuff.
take one off the top over there.
Okay.
Ew. Well, that's not great.
Oh boy.
We got one success.
You cannot determine anything more than what you did.
Engineer, not a doctor.
Yeah.
Is there any cells that it doesn't seem to go after?
You don't know because of these scans are failing.
Can I take a look at that?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to.
Looking at the old sample,
Yes.
which cells to
Let's
draw
look at that one.
blood,
Yep.
it would have attacked more types of cells, or it would start attacking basically everything. Because you could tell the volume on the old stuff.
So you can tell that it starts with the white blood cells
Okay.
and
So-
then generally moves on to
It basically will attack everything, but but white blood cells are the lowest number,
right.
then probably red, then probably platelets.
Right.
So I still would like to take a sample from the planet.
What the heck are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Come up with a new way of fighting the virus.
Neutralize everyone immediately.
There he is.
Is the doctor back?
The doctor is in just in time, I presume. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
you to compare the virus to the database.
Yes, let me get my beakers here.
Put down your whiskey glass.
Let me swish some stuff around in my medical jars. Will, what do I need to roll?
It is medicine, reason, difficulty 2.
Medicine, reason. Okay.
We have 5 momentum if you need an extra.
Okay, so I need a 17 or under.
Wow.
My medicine is a 5, so if I roll a 5 or lower, I do double success. Let me buy one
By one?
dice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right, a 4 and a 5. So it's like the whole time you guys needed me here.
Yeah.
And it's just like perfect, you know.
He just stepped in.
So-
There you go.
That's four successes.
Successes.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, and let me roll my extra. Wow, that's also a 5. Okay. Okay.
The first thing that you learned, which I'll just repeat because Jahan had learned this, was that the current strain of it is highly contagious, fast acting, and potentially fatal for virtually all mammalian humanoid species.
Okay.
The new thing that you learn is that it is similar to the virus that causes Achilles fever, a variant disease capable of wiping out millions in a matter of days.
Okay.
However, Achilles fever requires rare materials that are difficult to synthesize to produce a vaccine. The Outlander virus, which is the one you're looking at, should respond to conventional antiviral medications. Here is what you pull up on your screen.
Ah,
Wow. So this is funny, Will, because I just Googled it and I am seeing the same image. All right, so I'm just getting word from the captain here on the Walcom of the things I need to do. Is John joining or is he staying in the lab?
oh, I'm staying put, Doctor. I don't think I'd be much use out there.
Hmm.
But I can definitely hold down the fort here. If there's any kind of data or communications you need, I'm right on it.
Excellent.
I've been doing a good job while you've been away.
Thank you for filling in while I had that meeting with Christine in my quarters.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much. She's not on the ship. She's on intercom. So
No, yeah, naturally.
Yeah. So
roll a
don't-
reason
don't.
medicine, difficulty 1 for your inoculation.
18,
Yeah.
19.
Yeah. Oh, I just got to roll under a 20.
4 and 6.
All right. Okay.
Now he's just showing off.
So,
Great data that you right now.
so Andrew, he gets a momentum and he is inoculated.
We already have
Max momentum.
Oh, sorry, we have 2 months
So he
of
just
momentum.
just yeah.
Will, can I use that extra momentum I roll to give me any sort of upper hand on anything because of my background?
Yes, I will let you
imagine-
know that your doctor senses are tingling
Uh-huh.
and that you feel like you should compare the current strain with the one that was previously on the planet.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. So I'm on my way. I injected myself. I'm on my way out the door and I say, you know what? I wonder if this strain is any different than the previous strain on this planet. So I turn around and I
And
get out my beakers.
a science reason difficulty 2.
And I,
Okay.
Japan, am here, and I say I'm going to help.
You will roll an engineering presence.
He's there, and he's an engineer.
So I need a 16. You said this is a 2.
It's a science reason 2. Yep.
All right. Let me. And
Doesn't
John's
help
helping me.
No, I didn't help you at all.
Okay. So let
I
me.
told you, I was there, but I was in the wrong room.
Okay. Let me buy 1 momentum.
All right, down to 5.
Okay. 12, 15,
Got the 2. Will you get the momentum back?
and an 8.
Yep.
So momentum's back.
So what you discover, House, by looking at the data, is that it appears that the current strain of the virus is developed through natural selection, a resistance to the radiation that suppressed older viral strains. So
Really?
you
Wait, what?
are believing, because this is why it
The
resurfaced
radiation was always there.
200
They got used
years
to it.
of dormancy. However,
However, yes.
the genomic data contained in their archive conspicuously lacks several key genetic sequences that would play a key role in developing a treatment.
I still kind of think we should go to that planet and do some scans of our own. Just curious. Just to kind of test their theory, behind their back.
But what are you really thinking, Captain? You're thinking that that they're lying?
Yeah, because basically the way what it was described is like it would be as if Pfizer came in and started telling our government like, hey, this is what we have to do, and like controlling our government, and then the government couldn't make any decisions without Pfizer's okay and approval. So like it seems very suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also very suspicious that like all the other continents have been pretty much, heavily affected, but
Everywhere but the capital is affected. And as long as the virus is there, the people in charge stay in charge.
yeah.
But what do they? Okay, I get that. What do they? What would they gain long run if everybody dies
Control.
out? But
They're controlling the entire population. They control the food. They control the people. They control everything.
Yeah, because that's also we forgot to say that they literally control like animal, livestock, and produce, food, everything.
I think.
yeah,
it's
but everybody
gotten out of
dies out. Then
control.
what do they? They control nothing.
I think perhaps it's gotten out of their control.
Oh,
There's definitely
So-
some heinous things happening in the background, whether or not it's as bad as we think, or if it's just a few like a faction or what. But like, there's some. I would like the doctor here and Milek to go to that planet where they claimed things started on. Do some scanning. See if you can find any merit to that. Because if there's nothing showing that could have happened, then they're
well,
lying about that.
They introduced the virus.
Right.
And-
at the very least will tell us that they are lying about something. Right?
well, and if we're gonna synthesize an actual vaccine, then we need to have like the original virus to know how to beat it.
yeah. So have Milek bring the shuttle pod dock on our ship, okay?
Yep.
The whole ship is going to that first planet.
Okay,
All right. House
so
is
now
gonna
you're
get
in
out.
orbit of Fosstarian 1.
All right. So now I would like House to dock on the planet.
You wanted the shuttle pod to the planet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do a fun little adventurous scanning thing.
So you, House, can do science, control, difficulty 2 to obtain samples on Fosstarian 1. So when you get off the shuttle pod as you're getting ready to roll, it is a like absolute ice wasteland.
And he obviously needs to be wearing like his EV.
Yeah, he's in his EV suit. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want him dying on us. Yeah.
So I like scoop the snow out of the way
Yeah.
to get down to the soil.
Like,
Okay.
Do you
So
want to use
I'm-
any momentum?
Science and control.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let me buy one because this is a 14 for me. All right, 4, which is my science.
Mm-hmm.
Is
So
that 2 or
that's a 2. The other one is a 15.
so no?
So one
Finally,
more.
Roll
is
something
a
real.
6.
So that's 3.
Do you have a focus in like what do you call it?
Sample collection.
Sample collection, but what's the terminology for studying like the ground?
Like
Geology? Is it
I
geology?
don't, but
Yeah.
I have a focus in emergency medicine.
No.
Yes,
he's still got-
this is an
he's still got the
emergency.
2.
You're
And
not
I'm
doing
looking
anything
at
medical.
dirt.
You're not doing anything medical.
Okay,
Still got
then I
2,
have.
though.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but I am pretty fluent in virology.
Correct, but you're collecting dirt samples.
Right, and that's where the
That's for the-
virus is.
For the
So.
purpose of medicine.
Well, the thing is once he does the scan on the dirt, he's looking at viruses.
Correct. Michael is
Virus
correct.
dirt.
So you collect the sample and you walk back to the shuttle pod. Do you want to do your thing on the shuttle pod computers, or do you want to go back to the Drakes?
Might as well just go back to Drake.
Okay, so you go back to the Drake and you go back into your lab and you start to study the samples. Let's have you roll science, reason, difficulty 2.
Okay,
No,
that's a
momentum?
16. Let me buy a momentum.
Okay.
10, 10,
And 10, so 2,
14.
3.
3.
So 1 back.
Yep. So what you gather is it is not in as you look through the entire sample, it is not predominant in the sample, but the original strain that you have the data on is found in some of the samples that you've collected.
All right.
Huh.
So
Plausible.
yes.
So I'm going to spend 2 threat,
Okay.
and I am causing a medical emergency complication. on the three in the quarantine field where Sova is.
Okay.
So
No, it wasn't me.
so the people, their conditions are worsening,
Yeah.
and that medical emergency assistance is needed, or they will die within the hour.
Okay. So,
You can roll daring medicine difficulty 1.
Oh, a 14.
you have the best
Yeah.
chance.
All right.
I will assist
Momentum me.
Okay. You have science presence.
science presence. I have a 13.
Ah, 3 successes. Yes.
I got one.
Okay, you are able to stabilize their condition.
Okay.
And we got our momentum back.
Good work.
Yes.
All right, House. So now you've got your raw materials to
Raw
see if
samples.
you can synthesize a antivirus, right?
Yep.
Is that where we're at?
Okay, so that if that's what he's doing, it's a reason medicine difficulty 3.
Let me use 3.
Okay.
Just to be sure. I'll roll 4 dice. I need a 12, 13, 14, 15, and it's 16. Five, 18.
So we got one.
2 and a 4.
Do you have a focus that will help you?
Diagnostic medicine.
Got 3.
I think you have virology.
Yeah, virology would still work for this.
That would be 5.
Yep.
So got
It's-
3 back.
Yeah.
Or no, 2 back.
Too bad. So what you are able to put together, doctor, is that an antigen is capable of provoking an immune response that will fight off the disease. All that remains is to synthesize the treatment and administer it via hypospray to the infected Fosstarians. So you got the cure.
Nice work.
So I got to run it through the synthesizer, and it's going to make it into a spray.
Right.
So like the most obvious choice would be to give it to them and allow them to dispense it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
if we
want to
don't
give it
trust
to the
them,
corporation?
Nah.
Well, what about the region? She might be trustworthy enough.
Maybe.
As Sova is looking over the data with Mescal, the CEO, Salatin, comes over and she says to them, "What exactly are you doing?"
And that's where we're in.
That's where that scene ends.
Okay.
And then what you hear, Commander and Captain, is that there is panic starting on the continent, and that the regent is having difficulty managing the situation, and she's contacting you to help
outsiders.
restart a water treatment facility near a major city called Pelginar.
Okay. Um,
Well, that is it for tonight.
Well, thanks so
What a
much, Doctor,
joke.
for all your help. That was really great.
We came through right at the pinch.
you know, it's a lot more fun, I've noticed, if you just sit out the whole part of this and then you come in when you only have stuff to do.
Like basketball. You come in for the last, 30 minutes or so, and now it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Call me in during the shot clock.
We say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.